We're not going anywhere. I was thinking during the break, and I want to speak to you liberals, you leftists, or what I call you statists, you conservatives and regular Americans, you can listen in too. What must it be right now to be you? That is, you know that your philosophy doesn't work. In fact, you know that Obama has demonstrated it doesn't work. Many of you know all these years your arguments with friends and relatives and coworkers, your arguments with family members, which in many cases were so emotional. You now know you were wrong. You now know these programs don't work. You now know they're unsustainable. You now know that we're so deep in red that your children and grandchildren, if you have them, are in dire trouble. You now know you were wrong about a living and breathing Constitution, because a living and breathing Constitution is really a dead Constitution. It becomes meaningless. It's a political expedient. You now know you were wrong to support all this concentrated power in the hands of self-appointed masterminds who hold temporary office when they're politicians and squirrel forevermore into the bureaucracy when they're bureaucrats. It's got to be hard to sleep at night if you're a liberal or a leftist or a statist. We'll just stick with my word, statist. Knowing all these years, some cases, more than half a lifetime, you were promoting a religion in statism that had nothing but false idols, false gods. It's got to be tough. But it's tougher if you don't come to grips with it. Because then you live a lie. You promote a lie. And you promote a kind of society that is destructive and in some cases dangerous, if not deadly, to future generations. So it's important that despite what you thought before, despite your arguments before, despite the damage you did before in the way you voted, it's important to turn around. Accept what you've done and address it. Address it for yourself and get over it. It's got to be painful. I'm serious about this. Wrong for so long. Excited about Obama. Have a supermajority in the House and Senate. 24 months of unfettered statism. And now you can see that it's a complete disaster. That's why you're disappointed with Obama. You're not really disappointed with Obama. You're disappointed with yourselves. You're disappointed that for all these decades, you took the bait. For all these years, you argued for, you voted for, you demanded the deterioration of your own society and your own enslavement and the enslavement of your children to massive debt and government regulations and temporary politicians and a permanent bureaucracy. You've contributed to the decline of this society. And I know it has to be painful. But look at it this way also. Imagine how we feel, the rest of us. We've been telling you for years. We've been telling you for decades how wrong you were. And yet you won many elections. In some states, it's a hopeless situation. Like the gentleman on the floor of the state assembly in Illinois, crying out against tyranny. Some states, it's a hopeless situation. Some cities, it's a hopeless situation, given the politicians, the one-party rule. How do you get out? Well, you have to get up and leave. That's the only way to get out. So imagine what you've done to so many people who embrace liberty and private property rights any rule of law in the Constitution and all that goes with all of it. And then here's the kicker. Not all of you, but many of you. After spending years voting for people to steal from other people, voting for people to attack other people, you leave your state. You leave your community and you go elsewhere, where it's freer, where there's less regulations, where there's less taxes. In other words, you know you've been living a life of hypocrisy, a life of contradictions. You know that the rules and the conditions that you would impose on other people, you refuse to accept for yourself. And so you demand higher taxes. When you live in New York, when you reach retirement age, you leave New York. And you go to low-tax states. You go to Florida, or Texas, or Nevada, or Virginia, or somewhere else. And then what do you do in those states? Well, if you don't have a conscience, if you haven't accepted responsibility for the damage you've done in the voting booth and elsewhere for so much of your life, you continue the habit. You continue the pattern. So you vote in these states that are freer than the state you left. These dark blue states that are being depopulated. You vote for the same statist politicians. You demand the same conditions that you escaped. Because you figure you'll still benefit from it. Or you'll outlive it. Or you have yours. So who cares about the young people? The people yet born? They'll just have to deal with it, right? And the moral of this story is it's immoral. Liberalism, statism is immoral. It's immoral to future generations. It's immoral to your fellow citizens. And just because you can vote to put somebody in power, to steal from somebody else, stealing, which is rejected by every religion, stealing, which is rejected by all criminal codes, local, state, and federal. You think if you vote for somebody to do it, that legitimizes it, makes it moral. No, it doesn't. So, I really do encourage you to look in the mirror, think about what you've done all your lives to this country, to your states. Think about the lie that you're living, the contradiction that you're living, the hypocrisy of it all, and straighten up. It's time to grow up. I don't care how old you are. It's time to accept reality. You've done enough damage to this great country. It's time to contribute to it. Oh, I don't mean skin in the game. I mean support the founding and the principles that undergird this society. I'll be right back.